Yo, what's up? Rich from Turbo Family Fishing back again to bring you another how-to video. So today I'm going to show you how to fix a tip of a broken pole. Okay, some people that don't know that we can fix these real easily. So there's one of two things you can do. Now I know there's different ways tips break. Either they snap all the way off, right? And then you're left with just this thing left over and it comes down here to your next tip. Or the next thing that could possibly happen is, we're going to go ahead and do it just so you can see, is say for instance your tip gets snagged in something and it does that, right? Well, there's other things you can do. You can try to take your tip off and we can repair it. So I'm going to show you how to do a couple of different things. I'm going to try it and see what we can do to fix a tip. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need is obviously a tip fixer, right? You can get these, obviously you see I got this one at Big 5 for $5. You can get them at Walmart, Big 5, any of your sporting goods stores, anywhere that sells fishing tackle. It's not a problem. So there's one of two ways. With this pole, I believe it's pretty old and the tip is clamped on. But for most newer poles, all you would have to do is take a lighter, okay? So say your ring is jacked up like that. You broke it somehow, don't know. You're gonna take a lighter and just heat up the tip all the way around like this. Like I said, on newer poles, this is how you would do it. Take your pliers and you would just pull it off. Oh, this one worked the same way, okay? So you could just pull your tip off like that, not a problem, all right? Then you're gonna do the same thing with your repair kit, all right? Let's go ahead and open this repair kit right in front of you. So when you get your repair kit open, they put these weird staples in it. All right. You're going to size up whichever tip you want, whichever tip will fit. Now it comes with 3 different size tips for different size poles. And where I mean the tips is the rings aren't really much different, okay? What is different is the bottom section here, all right? So that one's kind of thicker, that one's pretty skinny, and this one's kind of the biggest one, okay? What you want to do is you want to size them up, okay? Figure out which one you're going to need for your tip that's on your pole. You're just going to slide it on and just see which one fits pretty snug. See, that one's kind of loose. Obviously, the bigger one's going to be pretty loose. So we're most likely going to go with the smaller one, okay? So the smaller one fits pretty nice in there, all right? What you're going to do from there is you're obviously going to line it up with your next ring. You want to have the tip relatively in the same, in alignment. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if it's even lined up, but that's how you want to do it. So we're going to use this ring, okay? So the next thing you want to do after we figured out which ring we're going to use, this here, what this is basically hot glue. So you can use any hot glue. It doesn't really matter what kind you use. You can get hot glue that you would find at, any of the what are they called stores? The, where your wife goes. Per se, Joann's Fabrics or Hobby Lobby or anything like that. All it is hot glue. Okay, so the next thing you're going to do is you want to get some hot glue by heating it up. Okay, you're just going to heat up the hot glue with your lighter. Okay, get a little bit on there so that it's kind of melty, and then just rub it onto your tip like that. And don't worry about getting it everywhere because it's hot glue. We could just heat it up and just take it off. Take your tip. See how it's kind of cooling down already? You can just reheat it. No big deal. Just reheat it. You just want to make sure it's on there. Take your tip and just slide it on. Okay? Like I said, make sure you line it up with the hole. So just twist it till you get it to the spot you want. Like that. Let it cool down. You can blow on it. Not a problem, okay? So after you get the glue all cooled down, don't touch it when it's hot, obviously. But once it's cooled, you could just peel it off, okay? See, it's still kind of warm, but that's okay. After you peel it off, your tip is as good as new. And that's it. That's all there is to it, okay? You just fix the tip on your pole that quick. Okay, now the second way I want to show you is We're gonna imagine for a second, I'm gonna take this tip back off. Okay, we got the tip off now. Now imagine for a second, your original tip was on there. Okay, so the next thing you wanna do is say your tip's on there, but you do something like this and you break the whole thing off. All right, now you have two options to go from here. You can either do one of two things. You could either just go ahead and break this whole thing off and not even worry about that tip up there and cut it off down here at the next tip, and that'll be your tip if you wanted to. You don't have to do that. I've done that on some other poles because I just found it easier. But when this is looking all ugly and jacked up, just go ahead and do the same thing. Just cut it flat. Now you have a tip to work with after you cut it flat, and you're going to start over the same process. Okay? Heat up your glue. Oh, I didn't get it hot enough. After you've heated up your glue, make sure you get it on the tip and slide your tip on. Slide your tip on, straighten it up so that your holes are lined up. And don't be too worried about if you can't line up your hole the very first try, because you can always just heat that back up and twist it to where you need to. Okay? The added tip that I like to do is after I get it already on, it's already good and glued down, it's cooled down, is you can take your pliers and crush it down just a little bit to give you a little bit more bite to it. Okay? It's not much of a crush, it's just a little crimp, and that's all you got to do. You could do it with, whichever piece you want on your pliers, depending on if you have a crushed end of your pliers. Just squish it down on there so that it gives it an added little bite and it doesn't want to come off. And that's it. That's how you fix a tip to your fishing pole. Whether you broke it off, whether you cut your ring, simple as that. Heat it up, slide it off, heat it on, put it back. Good to go. So thanks again for joining me here at Turbo Family Fishing. I hope this tip on how to repair a tip on your pole helped you out. Shoot over to YouTube, finish watching the rest of my how-to videos. Go to Instagram, check that out. I'm also on TikTok. Everything's Turbo Family Fishing. So I appreciate you joining me for today. And as always, I'll catch you on the next one.